Hey Jones, when are you gonna shave that?
I'm growing it out like the King of Eternia.
Your eyebrows, you can almost like comb into your hair and you're chewing on your mustache.
It's No Shave November.
Shave it or you're getting couch duty.
You know what? Fine. Maybe I will be on the couch. I'm not shaving it. What's up, everybody? It's Joneser, your favorite comic book guy.
Let's do this.
All right, everybody, I am Joneser, and this is the Motu Joneser channel here on YouTube. And in today's episode, we have King Randor from the Masters of the Universe Origins toy line. And I'd like to take a moment here to please ask you guys, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel, especially if you're a Masters of the Universe fan, as we've got loads and loads of Masters of the Universe content. And in previous videos, I have gone into the origins of these characters. I highly recommend my Masterverse New Eternia He-Man video. And you can kind of get a feel for what the channel's all about. Well, anyway, let's dive in to the King of Eternia. Randor, the King of Eternia. Or was he the Burger King? Come on, that's funny. I mean, he does strike a resemblance to the Burger King, you got to admit it. But anyways, I always thought Randor was best done as kind of a tough, no-nonsense guy. Well, to get into some of his origins, he started out as Prince Randor, and before he ascended to the throne, an astronaut named Marlena Glenn landed on Eternia. And she was from Earth, and she gave birth to what would eventually be He-Man and She-Ra. And the two of them ruled over Eternia in the Filmation lore of the cartoon. Now, for whatever reason, in the mini-comics, they went much older with Randor, which made for some different stuff. And they also had a origin story here with his brother being Prince Keldor, which they tackled in the 2002 version of the cartoon, where King Randor and Keldor, I don't know if he was named Prince in that, had into a Mortal Kombat fight, and eventually Keldor was wounded, and he became Skeletor, the skull-faced guy that we all know and love. Now, DC Comics had a very different take on King Randor, and they made him much more of a battle-hardened warrior king, which was very cool. And I'd have to say this was probably my favorite version of King Randor, and I got really attached. And then they had King Hiss overtake his body and possess him, and then he ultimately died, and that was kind of sad. And then they had him in Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe Revelation cartoon, where he was kind of sad, and he continued his role as just being disappointed in his son. You know, I mean, it would be kind of fun to have Randor be a fun guy or the warrior, but they never really just were consistent. Well, here we are down here in the Joneser basement, and we are going to get Randor out of the box. But before we do that, let's take a closer look here at this box art, which we got the typical Masters of the Universe blister card. We've got the European release here from Big Bad Toy Store, which was a little disappointing because I'm not going to get text bubbles in my mini comic, but, you know, we'll worry about that later. On the back of this box, we've got the cross-sell here with King Randor, Whiplash, mini comic, Trapjaw, and Digitino from the Sunman line. And to be honest with you, I refer to it as the Sunman line, even though they have incorporated it into Masters of the Universe. Whether that was smart or not is beyond me. But anyway, I don't do the Sunman characters. They just weren't a part of my childhood, and I don't feel like they should be their separate thing, not Masters of the Universe. But that is just my opinion. If you like them, you know, cool, good for you. They're there. Here they've got his action features, which is basically no action features. He just poses and you can hold the weapon. And then here's some really cool artwork where we have King Randor here and some other denizens of Eternia. And looks like we've got Buzz-Off and Stratos in the background with the Palace Guard, and then a few other different species or kings and other people from Eternia that I may or may not be too familiar with. Well, and there he is, the King of Eternia, and he is free from his plastic prison. And he came with the mini comic in question, which seems to feature the Sunman character I had mentioned before, Digitino, and the mini comic Trapjaw. We'll just go through the artwork real quick, as you can kind of see it without the bubbles, because this is a European release. And it looks like they got some Skeleton warriors and some palace guards there. The Roton's featured, so some very cool stuff and artwork there of the Masters of the Universe characters in battle. And it looks like you know, the Digitino character gets to be the guy with the big save here, you know, so they're really pushing this Sunman stuff pretty hard. But here we got the Snake Men looking on there at the end, so I'm pretty excited about that. But anyways, back to Randor here. He comes with the same accessory that the vintage one came with the spear. And the cape is a plastic cape. It is very reminiscent of the Scareglow cape. You know, it's that kind of material. And he's your typical Origins figure with the same articulation, you know. But I really like the colors on him and the look of him. He really pops, especially the face sculpt, which I'm a really big fan of. The armor is basically a Jitsu armor redone. So, I mean, there's not a lot of new parts here on him. Comparing him here to a vintage King Randor, which is, you know, a piece in my vintage collection that I'm fairly proud of. He's becoming one of the more hard to come by and expensive figures in the vintage line to get. Mine is all original with the exception of the cape. The cape is a reproduction from the Cape Master. But as you can see with the comparisons, these vintage figures are notorious for having a hard time standing, and especially when they knock over Origins figures, that doesn't help either. But anyways, we're going to compare colors, and you can see the armor is much brighter and the crown, they got a much more goldeny bright look to the Origins, which I like, which the vintage one, you know, and it could be just because it's 30, 40 years old, is dulled. And my Randor has the battle scar on the nose, which a lot of the vintage King Randors have a lot of scuff marks on the face. They were pretty notorious for that. And my spear has some chew marks because, you know, little kids played with these and they chewed on toys. You know, that's just how it was. And I was lucky to get one of these because, like I said, he is not cheap. But yeah, so there we are. King Randor, the King of Eternia. The Burger King. That's right. Get a Whopper with cheese. Well, all right. That was King Randor. We've got plenty more Origins to come. We've got the Green Goddess. We've been promising her for a while. We've got Jitsu. We've got Terraclaw, Skeletor. We've got Whiplash. We've got a Mattel Creations exclusive here with Grizzlord. Hey, buddy. Hey, did you enjoy the video?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
When Jen put you on the couch and then you folded like a chair.